Hello, my name is Mark Smith. I'm the industrial technology teacher at Reed-Custer High School, and we are starting our new series today on how can industry get involved at a local school to help build a pipeline for new hires. Now, as we know, for the last 20 years, it's been getting worse and worse. It's been getting more and more difficult for not only for industry to find people that work, but find qualified people or find people who have some experience in the industry that they represent. And of course, we've just come back from the IWF a couple weeks ago, and that was a big topic on everyone's lips. Where can we find? Where can we find? And so we're starting our new series on how can industry get involved with a local school and begin vision casting. And what do we mean by vision casting? Well, what we mean is this. Everyone has a perspective about the world around them, and sometimes it's accurate, sometimes it's not. It's all based on your personal experience. It's based on maybe what your parents knew, what their grandparents knew, and specifically we're talking about careers. And we all have a limited amount of information or understanding about the different careers in the world based on the previous context that we mentioned that you find yourself in. And high school counselors are no different. They have their life experience, they have what they learned when they were in school, and they have what they've managed to learn over the years from the people they know. And just like you and me, they don't know every career that's available. And so one of the ways that schools can get involved, or industry can get involved with schools, is set up a meeting and meet with the high school counselors, because they are the gatekeepers. They are the ones that advise students on their future. They ask students questions about what are your interests and what have you enjoyed while you're in school? Have you taken some electives to explore what you like and what you don't like? And so they're a very important component when it comes to advising students in the direction that they want, that the student wants their future to go. And so I have made sure I have developed a working relationship with my two high school counselors, because the success of my program in part depends on them and their understanding of what's going on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the camera around and I'm going to let these two ladies introduce themselves. They can talk about, their job and what they do and how long they worked here, and then I'm going to ask them a question. Go ahead, ladies.
My name is Haley Conley.
Hello, my name is Katie Redwitz.
So ladies, talk to us about your job and what you do.
So we meet with kids for various reasons. Classes, like Mr. Smith has already said, talk about their interests, talk about personal things, but a lot of it is what do they want to do as they get older.
Mm-hmm. Tell us a little bit about yourself too.
So I mirror the same thing that Katie said. So a lot of it's pulling what we know. So like I come from a family background where no one in my family went to college. So they were all in the unions doing trades, to where I was the first one. So it was a new thing on our front, but I use stuff like that, even building, to talk to our students about things that they can do, because not every path is the same.
Yeah. So what was your background? What led you to here?
Same thing. All the males are all in the trades for me. My sister went to school. She's a little bit older than me, and then I went to college. Started off in the criminal justice field briefly, and then decided to go this route. I just worked at a police department and went back to school and decided that I wanted to go into counseling.
Wow. So as you can see from listening to these two ladies, they have a lot of background in CTE, or career and technical education, and that is not typical. The two other schools I've worked at, the high school counselors knew nothing about CTE other than what they've been told by, the government, or things they get in the email, or the limited life experience they have. And having that understanding with the high school counselor makes a big impact on what the students are encouraged or not encouraged to do. I've actually worked at schools where students have told me, hey, I had to bring my parents in and force the counselor to sign me up for your class. That is not good. Now, does that mean that counselor's bad? No, it just means they have a very limited understanding of what we're doing, and they think what we're doing is a waste of time. And that's not necessarily saying something bad about me. They don't think it's important. And so that's one of it's very important for local industry to come in and meet with high school counselors. So ladies, the question I'm going to ask you today is, if an industry set up a meeting to meet with you, would you be receptive for that? And what would you want to know from them?
I think for sure that would be something that is helpful, and I support it too, because there are so many careers out there and different roles within those careers that we don't necessarily know about because we don't know everything. That I think finding out what the opportunities are and what the students need to do to get there. So for example, we have our career fair that we do every fall, and from there we have a lot of people in the industry that come. And we've had tables with different careers that I'm like, I have no idea what you do. I just know the name of your company and that's about it. And then it comes to find out that there's tons of different careers that you can put probably one of all of our kids into separate roles and they find a way that they have a home. So I think that's something that would be very helpful to know all of the different things and what they need to get there. And do you need any education? Or maybe you don't, because you don't always need to start with education. Sometimes it's built into the roles that you take in a job. So I think I would support it a lot for them to come in.
We have our colleges coming in and the military coming in, and our kids are able to talk to them all the time, but we don't necessarily see the careers that are available to our students. And I completely agree with, what do they need to get there? What type of math level do they need? What type of math are they doing? Is there tests that they have to take to be able to go through that hiring process with you? So all of that stuff would be very good information, valuable information for us to help direct our students.
And then what growth opportunities? I think the common thing the students are like, oh, I want to make all the big money. I want to graduate high school and make like 6 figures, which that is out there, but sometimes you have to baby step, or you have to get your foot in the door, and then maybe they have opportunities where they can advance you with certain certifications that you will get there rather quickly. So even the growth potential, so that way it kind of gets the students excited and they latch on to an idea of doing a career where they can grow and keep, getting bigger and bigger.
So if I hear you ladies correctly, you would agree that a member of industry coming in and meeting with you would be a plus.
Yes,
Absolutely.
Very good. So that is our first session on how industry can get involved with schools. And if you're wondering where we're sitting in the high school counselor's office. This is where it all happens with the students. This is where they get advised. And so the most important thing I should leave you with is this. There are very few industries that have a foothold in the education system. One of them would be metalworking, maybe agriculture, and woodworking still has a foothold. There are others that, like in our high school, they learn about foods and how to run a restaurant, things like that. They learn about childcare. So there are a few industries that still have a foothold. Boy, it would be a real shame for the wood industry to ignore what's happening around them and not respond to the education system, not get involved, and then totally lose that presence that is here in some high schools. So want to thank everyone for listening. If you are looking to develop a mutually beneficial relationship with a school, of course, Reed Custer High School is available, and you will see all my contact information down below the video, just like I always post. Have a great day, everybody.